Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is IMRAN and I will briefly introduce our case study, the Mars Polar Lander Failure. In 1999, NASA launched the mission to explore the south pole of Mars, but the spacecraft crashed because of the software error that caused the engine to shut down too early during descent. And this failure stemmed from inadequate testing, over-reliance on automation, and poor risk management. It highlights various ethical issues, including accountability, safety, and decision-making under constraints. And with that brief introduction, I would now like to open the floor for discussion, and each of us will address the case from our chosen ethical perspective. And let's explore this principle could have been applied to prevent the failure and ensure better outcomes.
Alright, so based on the understanding the case, which is NASA's Mars Polar Lander was lost due to a preventable software bug. So this case also raises ethical question, particularly when viewed through the lens of religious ethics. So how a religious ethics can apply, which is first responsibility and stewardship, honesty and transparency, accountability, avoiding waste, and the last one is excellent in work. Lesson that you can learn and ethical takeaways. First, prioritize thoroughness and diligence to prevent the errors. Second, communicate risk transparently to ensuring all stakeholders are informed. And the last one is act responsibly and ethically when entrusted with resources and opportunities. So the religious ethics remind us that our action carry moral and spiritual weight. Whether in engineering, science, or daily life, we are called to act with honesty, accountability, and care, striving to leave a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so I will explain about virtue ethic in our case study. So what is virtue ethic? Virtue ethic is a philosophical approach that emphasizes role of character and virtue in moral decision making, rather than focusing on rules and consequences. So focus on the moral agent, focus on the person performing the action and they possess virtuous traits like courage, honesty, kindness, and also wisdom. So virtue ethic that apply to our case study, which is Mars Polar Lander case, is a responsibility. So virtue ethic emphasizes importance of personal responsibility. In this case of Mars Polar Lander, the engineer and also mission planner need to have responsibility to ensure that the software will truthfully tested and functioning well in all conditions. So expectedly, the failure to identify bug during testing suggests that all the engineer and also mission planner have lack of diligence and carefulness.
From a deontological perspective, NASA's engineer had a duty to ensure through testing of the spacecraft software, particularly for critical landing scenarios. By neglecting this, they failed in their moral responsibility to ensure safety and reliability. And additionally, the lack of transparency and accountability in the review process violated ethical obligations. And prioritizing cost and deadline over rigorous testing reflects an ethical lapse, and that could have been avoided with stronger adherence to deontological principles.
Okay, so next, based on the case about the failure in the Mars landing by NASA in 1999, the utilitarianism theory can be delayed. Okay, this ethics theory is about theory that focus on outcome. Every action must have greatest good for the greatest number. It is in order to maximize the overall happiness and minimize any harm. So, for the case, the failure occurred because of software bug which mistakenly shut off the engine too early because of vibration. So, from the utilitarian perspective, NASA's decision making could have focused more on the minimizing risk to rigorous testing before the mission, even though it will increase the cost. Moreover, mission failure like this can reduce public trust and funding in space exploration. A utilitarian approach suggests it's better to allocate resources to ensure successful mission, as this builds long-term support and scientific progress, which benefits society as a whole. In short, applying utilitarian principle could mean prioritizing reliability.
So now, as everyone already know, the failure of NASA's Mars Polar Lander was not just a technical issue, but it also tests the decision-making in engineering. So, based on probability ethics, which focuses on practical outcomes, there are some lessons that can be learned here. First, there was a lack of hazard testing for unexpected conditions. So it's better to prioritize efficiency other than safety, because to avoid loss and also anticipate risk from overhead planes. Next one is overconfidence in engineers. Engineers nowadays heavily rely on automations, so they never check for check-up on the system. So lastly, to maintain simplicity in the software, so we must avoid complicated things for others better understanding. So proceed to Imran.
So, in conclusion, it's clear that ethical values are essential in guiding decisions. They ensure accountability, prioritize safety, and create foundation for responsible engineers practice. And without them, failures like the Mars Polar Lander become inevitable. So that is all from us. Thank you.